This is the story of Johnny the Peach. For those of you who haven't heard it, I'm going to share it with you this morning. And Johnny was a good little peach. As a matter of fact, in the entire time of his existence, he had never once found himself in a jam. Johnny came from good stock. His father was a cobbler, and his mother was well preserved. Well, one day Johnny was out walking around, and he happened by the local stand where all the fruits hang out, and there he ran into a bunch of blueberries. And the blueberries asked Johnny if he wanted to go across the street to the empty lot and play some ball. Johnny thought this would be fun, so he did. They all went over and played ball for a while, but then the blueberries got bored. And for lack of anything better to do, they thought it would be fun to tease Johnny. And they all began to chant, "Johnny isn't small, Johnny isn't small." Johnny thought this was fun at first, but then the chants became louder, and they became meaner, and pretty soon his feelings were hurt. So Johnny walked off the field. And on his way home, he had this bright idea. He said, "I'll go on a diet, I'll go on a fast. For 30 days, I won't eat anything, and I'll be nice and small, just like them." And so he did exactly that. For 30 days, he didn't eat a thing. When he looked in the mirror and he saw how small he had got, he was so happy. He said, "Now they'll accept me." He went back down to the stand, and there were the blueberries, and he thought they'd be so happy to see him. But they weren't. They weren't happy at all. They decided to tease him about something else. They decided to tease him about his color. So Johnny isn't blue, Johnny isn't blue. Once again, Johnny's feelings got hurt. But he came up with another bright idea. He said, "I'll go home and I'll cover myself with blue dye. Or better yet, blue paint. Then I'll be just like them." And Johnny did exactly that. This time he went up with the blueberries. He thought they'd be so happy because, alas, he was small just like them and he was blue just like them. But many of you don't know this, and that's blueberries are vicious. You can tell that by their sting. And this time when Johnny came to the blueberries decided to tease him because he had a pit. They all said, "Johnny has a pit, Johnny has a pit." And Johnny couldn't understand what they were saying. A pit, he thought. A pit? I can't live without my pit. Now on his way home, Johnny was so sad, he lay down on the ground and he cried himself to sleep. But when he woke up, he thought he was dreaming at first because above him was the most beautiful little girl peach he had ever seen in his life. She had a peaches and cream complexion. She had a nice rounded figure. And her fuzz was the nicest Johnny had ever seen. And the little girl peach asked Johnny what was wrong. She said, "You been in an accident or something? You look very creepy, all blue and shrunk and everything." And so Johnny explained to her his experience with the blueberries. And when he was done, the little girl peach got very, very angry. She said, "Johnny, don't you realize that as a peach, you're A1, you're the best, nobody can be better as a peach. But as a blueberry, you're always going to be second rate. You're always going to be trying and trying and trying and never really getting there." So Johnny finally got it. With the help of the little girl peach, he ate a lot of good nutritious foods. She helped scrub all the blue paint off, and Johnny and the little girl peach lived happily ever after. Now I like this story because it's a story of you, and it's a story of me, and it's a story of life. We have two directions we can go as we move through life. One is taking our direction from outside of us, listening to everybody tell us how we should be and what we should do and when we should do it. Or we can follow our inner direction, which is always there. When we peel through all the layers, we have that sacred inner connection that will give us a direction of exactly how we need to be and where we need to go and when we need to do it. It's all right there within us. Taking the outer direction, we're always going to be changing. We're always going to be feeling like we're a step behind. We're always going to be feeling like we're not good enough. We're always going to be feeling that we are unworthy somehow. But following the inner direction, there's nothing but confirmation, 100% unconditional confirmation that you are who you are and that is good. You are who you are and that is good. If we want to move to a place where we're at peace with the world around us and we have love and peace in our relationships, there's only one thing only that we have to do, and that's have unconditional peace and acceptance with ourselves. How this germ of low self-esteem, this germ of feelings of unworthiness, and this germ of not being good enough, or as good as we should be, how that ever affected us, I don't know. But it's time to heal that, step beyond it, and go forward, just being at peace with yourself and your life. Being at home in your body and being at home in this world. It makes all the difference. So as we move into meditation, I ask you to just stop and think a little bit about yourself. Do you have that voice inside yourself, that negative voice that's constantly judging you, that's criticizing you, that is very harsh at times? And if so, it's time to turn to that voice and just love it. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. But now we're going to meditate.